so I have it working. Gyroscope connected over SPI to the FPGA. 3 buttons. You do the first button, and it displays the x-axis. So if you change in the Z or in the Y, it doesn't have any major changes. Then for this one is the y-axis. No, wait, I'm sorry, that's the y-axis. This is the x-axis. The z-axis, no major changes. And then this one is z-axis, so it shows you, you stay in one place, and then you move, it'll show you the distance you traveled from that angle. There we go. And obviously this shows you which one you currently have selected. Got it hooked up to the logic port. So showing currently the top is the master out, slave in, and the bottom is the slave master in, slave out. It's showing all of the data that it's sending out. I had to slow it down and delay it quite a bit to be able to display it on screen. Generally just run a single run. You can see it, then you can back out and see the this is the request for data. Then there is a 1 millisecond pause, and then all the data bits come in, and that is the X low, X high, Y low, Y high, Z low, and Z high, and then they're concatenated in together later, actually, right there. And then it just works through state machine. Also, the first button will reset it and reinitialize the gyroscope. So I can one-hand all of this. Single button, go back to the beginning, do a single run, single acquisition, and release. There we go. You can go back in and go all the way down to the first position. And these are the initialization values. It sends a request, or requests a write at register 20, and then writes the value 0F to that register, and that initializes the gyroscope in normal mode and enables XYZ. Then from there, it's 1 millisecond later before it sends its first data request. And the request is a incremental request, or incremental read request. So it requests at the X low register. If I can get back to this. Yeah, requests at the X low register, and then every 8 bits after that, or every byte after that, increments a register. So this is the X low register, and then the next request is at the X high register. The next request is the Y low, because all these registers are right next to each other. And then this is the slave select. The slave select ends that request. So there we go. It all works and functions. The SPI module is not my original work. I had to find a working SPI module to be able to get the rest of my code to function and guarantee that that works. So, but this puts out a 2's complement value. So have to take it in, bring it into my state machine, and then that goes out, puts out X, Y, and Z values to my multiplexer, which then pushing the button decides which value goes out, runs into my 2's complement module, And then the values that come out of the gyroscope are scaled depending on what granularity, what DPS you choose. At basic DPS, it needs to be multiplied by 22 and divided by 250. So that's what this block does. And then runs that through my binary to BCD and 7-segment display driver, and then it is displayed. So that is the entire project. It's 50 megahertz clock. Then I use the clock wizard to output a 20 megahertz and a 5 megahertz clock. The 20 megahertz, once it goes in here, it then has its own internal clock divider that brings it down to 5 megahertz. The gyroscope is guaranteed up to 10 megahertz, but I wanted to shoot for a guaranteed clock that I knew would work and would be slow enough. Then this prescaler down here brings it down even slower, down to what does that bring it then down to? This is to divide it even further, so it's even displayable on the 7-segment display. Without this, it was so quick that you couldn't even read it, and so this brings it down to a legible area. And then this other prescaler is for the 7-segment driver, so that it can pick each individual digit and persistence of vision them. And so I think that covers it. The project is done, so I'll go ahead and put together my final write-up and submit that. Thank you.